Hey guys, it's Rick here from Northeast Whitetail. It's Wednesday, June 7th, and I'm up here on the hunting property, and it's getting to the end of habitat season here for me. This project that I'm going to share here with you guys today was something that I purposefully saved for last because I really didn't know how I was going to approach it. And it's a cool project. Sorry I haven't really made very many videos lately. Probably a good thing for some of you guys, but I just been too busy. I've had so much stuff to do here this year that it was almost overwhelming. So I was just up here day after day trying to hammer this stuff out, and I just couldn't take the time to make, strategy videos to share with you guys because it would have just slowed me down. I mean, most days I'm up here, I work till dark and I can't, it's just not enough light to make videos. So to give you a little background info on this area here, we're at the top of the hill, and it's pretty flat up here on top. It bowls down here in the middle a little bit and rises up that way a little bit and does the same pretty much over here on this side. But the top of the hill here has somewhat of an hourglass shape. If you would look at the topographic lines, it gets wide out that way, and as it moves this way, it necks down. And where we're standing is at pretty much the narrowest spot in the hourglass. And then as you go back out this way, it widens back out again. So this area right in here is a spot that it typically sees a fair amount of deer activity just based on the way that it lays out topographically. And as you notice, we've got a big tree down here. So last year we had a hell of a storm here during archery season, and which blew a few of these big hemlock trees down. I walked up in here the one morning about 5 o'clock in the morning. This is a path that I take to get to one of my tree stands that I had about 40 or 50 yards over that way. And I came upon this tree here blocking my path, and it was somewhat disorienting. I mean, it was 5 o'clock in the morning, pitch black. I had a small red lens flashlight that doesn't really illuminate very well, so when I came upon this, I almost didn't know where I was at for a second. So I had to walk around this, and as I did, I got over here to the other side and seen that another one had fallen down right over in here. So it was kind of weird to walk into that morning. I did not know that these trees had came down. So naturally, since this is a path that I use not only to access stands but to drag firewood out, so on and so forth, I had to cut these logs so I could get my equipment through here and stuff. So this project here that I'm going to share with you guys, it was a cool project. I had a lot of fun doing it. So what I did, because this is a high traffic area, I needed to cut this tree up a little bit more than what you see here to just keep the traffic and the activity flowing through here somewhat normal, like it did before these trees came down. So if you look back in here, there's some thick hemlocks down in there. I've got a network trail system, kind of just a maze of trails back in there. It drops down into a hollow, kind of swoops around this way. It's an area where they typically will bed and lay down. They travel through there quite a bit. So I hammered these two little trails between these trees that had fallen down. I got entrance and exit there. I've got another one here just to keep things flowing somewhat natural. And so I made a couple little small trails through here. We've got the big tree down over here on the side. We've got just kind of a natural layout of what the habitat looks like up in here in this spot. I cut up some of these dead logs just to make things flow through here as best as I can to have as few obstructions in this area as possible. And what I did up here towards the top of the tree was I made this neat little cave here. So these are some hemlock trees that big thing is pretty much laying on top of. So I cut all this out and I made this cool little cave here, cut all the dead stuff off of these hemlock trees. And we've got plenty of side cover here. We've got entrances and exits all the way around. I cut the end of this dead log off. So we got a nice little throughway through there. We don't want the deer to feel too boxed in, but to be honest with you, I really don't even know what's going to end up calling this place home here. You look overhead here, we got quite a bit of overhead cover. Many of you guys know I'm not a big fan of overhead canopy for deer, but in this situation here, this tree is suspended probably 6.5 feet up in the air here, and it's pretty firmly rooted on top of these other trees here. And there's a lot of supports from the branches that's holding this thing up, and I have a feeling this is going to stay upright for years. So I won't have to worry about getting in here and having to cut this up anytime soon due to it collapsing or anything. But like I said, I really don't know what's going to end up calling this place home. Maybe a buck, doe, could be a bear, or maybe nothing. But I had a lot of fun making this project here today. It was almost like making a fort again, like when you're a kid. So like I said, you come out here, we got plenty of options here. They can go that way, they can go this way. We've got another little throughway through there. If we walk over this way, we've got another little room right here in this little cluster of trees. As you can see out front there, we have an additional tree, a huge hemlock that had fallen down. And I'll take you around here to show you what I did to that, because that one there was the one that, when it came down, I kind of just slapped my hand on my forehead thinking, oh man, what am I going to do with that? So what I did, the bottom of this trunk, about 5 feet off the ground, plenty of room for something to be able to sneak in right underneath of it. So I cut all these branches off that was hanging down, cleaned all the sticks up off the ground here in this area, because this is an area that, just because of the way the topography lays here, this is an area that they usually come through crisscrossed quite a bit. So I wanted to be able to make sure that they're still going to be able to flow through this area pretty well. And I think I accomplished that. And then I piled everything up right over here, made this visual barrier, because I have a stand probably 30-40 yards over that way. And sometimes if they're coming around this side, like I told you they often do, and they act like they're not going to walk through here, I might be able to grunt to a rutting buck that's traveling through there and get him to come here, and we have this visual screen so he can't see what's on the other side of this, and he's going to have to walk around to figure out what's going on, and I'll be over there waiting for him. So that's my project for today. It's one of the last ones that I'm going to do here for the year until fall, when we start putting in our fall food plots. I'm going to do a lot of wheat and rye plots this year, just more or less micro plots. And I might experiment with something down in the field here at the base of the hill, but I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do there yet. But man, it's a good feeling to have all this done finally. I'm going to be able to maybe spend some time out in the boat doing some fishing. And actually, one of the next things to start doing here, at least I'm going to have to start thinking about it, is I'm going to tweak some of my stand sites this year. I'm going to eliminate some, add a few others. We'll have to get out here and trim shooting lanes and so on and so forth. So thanks for tuning in, guys. You can look me up on Facebook. It's Richard Yagi. Check out our group, Northeast Whitetail Habitat and Strategy Management on Facebook. And we'll see you next time.